There we go. Good evening, folks, and welcome along to another round of the Simverse.com LMU Pro Series. We're here for round number 7 at the Bahrain International Circuit. It's going to be a new one for me tonight. I'm sure the drivers have gotten plenty of practice in, but you know some of them. They just rock up and spew excellence. Let me just see. We should have some music. There we go. My name is John Wright, aka Double O Raven. I'm going to be here for this evening's action from, as I say, Bahrain. We're here for round number 7. We've had Fuji, Spa, Paul Ricard, Portimao, Imola, and Circuit of the Track Limits. Already this season, we've got Monza, Silverstone, Sebring, Interlagos, and Le Mans still to come. The drivers all vying for some top prizes, €500 at the Simverse website from Monza. We've got a €750 voucher for second place from Next Level Racing, and Thrustmaster have laid on €1,250 to spend at the Simverse website for both of our division winners, which is of course GT3s and the hypercars. They were out last time out at Circuit of the America. It was quite the race, especially for Team Nitro. 3 drivers occupying 6 of the podium positions. Hoban, Bessier and Nascadasvili, the top 3 in the GT3s, with Eric Delfant in 4th place, Wendell in 5th, Barto, Koifel, Fuchs all inside the top 10. Of course, Sasha Wassner didn't make it to the end of the race. In the hypercar, it was very much the Tobias Grunwald show. That Toyota absolutely pinned to the floor. Grunwald taking the top spot in the hypers ahead of Arkan and Gamble, with Gielhud in 4th, Mitchie Hoyer in 5th, Alex Siebel in 6th position, Cedar, Bachmeyer, Ulrich and Tim Flagg all rounding out the top 10. 16 cars started the race and only 15 unfortunately crossed the line. Eduardo Alvarez, the only hypercar not to make it to the end. In the standings, in the GT3s, Nicholas Hoban, unsurprisingly atop the tower after a phenomenal season so far. Nascadasvili in 2nd place, Coinsel in 3rd, with Koifel in 4th, Eric Delfant in 5th position, Fuchs, Wendell, Barto and David Rancano, who I think might be in the Twitch chat, all inside the top 10. Good evening, Rancano official. Freddie Milgrau saying hello as well, and that is a couple of people in the German chat. Good evening to everyone on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. I hope you're looking forward to tonight's race. It is going to be a bit of a good one. So we looked at the results and we looked at the standings. That is for the GT3s. It's the hypercars, of course, that we're going on to next. Arda Erkan still leading the way there. Sven Gielhud in 2nd, Kobe Chan in 3rd place, Siebel and Ulrich 4th and 5th. Ethan Faulkner not present last week, neither was Marco Bischoff, 6th and 7th. Bachmeyer, Flagg and Petouche all were. They maintain their positions in the top 10. We do have quite a few drivers that have taken part. There we see Mitchie Hoyer only taken part in 2 races, still inside the top 30. And we will see Tobias Grunwald. There he is there in 31st position. So his 2 races, 1,747 points. We'll see what he's got in store this evening and indeed for the rest of the season. The drivers are just in a short qualifying session. That and that please, thank you very much. And in fact, yeah, practice has just come to an end. And I tell you, practice this week does bear more than just a passing resemblance to last week's race results. So yeah, we could well be in for another fine display from Team Nitro. Grunwald tracking a second quicker than anyone in the field in practice, and Hoban is very nearly there as well. 3/4 of a second quicker than anyone in practice. And here we go. It is a full-blooded 15-minute qualifying session for the drivers to lay those laps down. Let's get ourselves... yeah, tell you what, let's get ourselves over there. And we will jump straight on board. I do seem to be missing some information. Bear with me a moment. There we go. Mirak Party, one of the first drivers out. We'll get a look at this Bahrain circuit. Of course, the races run at night. The temperatures here during the day, absolutely mind-blowing, especially for a Scotsman such as myself. I'm not even sure temperatures like that are real. I've certainly never experienced them here. Safe to say it's warmer at night there than it is here in the 4 hours of summer that we get per year. The track itself, of course, in Bahrain, built back in 2004, as you can imagine. Not much has been added or changed. A couple of minor alterations. Several circuits now inhabit the course. We've got the Grand Prix circuit the drivers are on tonight, 3.3 miles long, 5.4 kilometres. The Endurance circuit, which is 3.9 miles long. We've got the Outer circuit, the Paddock circuit, the Inner Oasis circuit, which is not as nice and gentle and peaceful as you would think. And of course there is a test oval, which is, yeah, a strange looking oval. Let's be fair. So the drivers will have a lot of work to do tonight, as you can see, through the deserts. A bit like the Dutch circuit in the sand dunes. Goodness me. Zandvoort, it's one of my favourite circuits to race at, Zandvoort, through the dunes, and we're on board with Partey. He's warming up the tyres, so this is going to be his first attempt at a flying lap, or is it? He's still warming the tyres up across the line, but we'll get a look at the circuit as it unfolds, of course. Into turn number 1, a tight right-hander, very tight right-hander, straight into a tight left-hander. It really is an elongated chicane that sucks all the pace, doesn't matter what kind of car you're driving. Then we're quickly through the right-hander that is 3 on 2. The first of... oh, well, the second, sorry, of 3 straights that the drivers will have. A couple of shorter runs, of course, in the middle of the track, but these are the longest. Then it's through turns 5, 6 and 7. Nice downhill and sloping, heavy on the brakes. Let the car settle out on the flatter part of the track. Get it around that curb. Spot your exit and foot on firmly on the loud pedal. A very tricky corner there as well. Very nicely done indeed. Heads along and still warming up the tyres, in fact. That is quite the sight at these temperatures. Let me just check I'm reading this correctly. Oh, okay, sorry, yeah, the track temperature is only 21 degrees, so it is quite cold. I initially said that the track was sitting at 38 degrees, which, let's face it, it's Bahrain, doesn't seem too far out of character, but no, 21.2, hence the tyre warming that we're seeing from on board with Partey. He's almost through the lap. We'll go on board with the GT3 car as well, of course, and see how it looks for those drivers. An entirely different affair, but that's the lap completed in... on Pinnock did set a time. Sewell has gone quicker. So there we go, lone qualifying for the drivers. We do have some times coming in for the GT3s. There is Rancano just crossed the line, so we'll stay on board with him and see how he goes through his first. Of course, David Rancano, Top Racing TV. There we go. Through turns 2 and 3, you can see just how much more steering input goes in from the GT3s. A lot more braking as well. I have raced some bikes around here on the old MotoGP games, and it is, yeah, certainly a track that keeps you on your toes. You can see all the dips and undulations all the way through. Some nice smooth tarmac, but it's certainly not flat. A lot of use of the curbs. Getting inside the curbs as well. Will be brave under race conditions if you've got somebody side by side with you. There's some interesting overtaking opportunities here if the drivers really want to go for it, and we'll see who fancies their chances tonight. More changes up at the top of the hypercars. Moritz Ulrich has taken the fastest lap. Tobias Grunwald, last week's winner, finds himself about a second, 9/10 behind in second place as we get to the midsection of the lap on board with Rancano. There's Lamborghini sounding very nice indeed. Big left there, the hypercars. Definitely a different affair going through here. Double right hander. Oh, and there we go. Yeah, could have maybe been doing with the two wheels on the inside there. Oh, Alex Seaball going back to the top of the tower. And Moritz Ulrich goes past them. Tobias Grunwald now in third place, so it's all chopping and changing there. 46.6 for Moritz Ulrich. This one, Cano finishing the lap. He was down in sector 1. He improved in sector 2. If he's improved in sector 3, which he has, 2 minute 0.3. So let's actually see some cars on track. There we go, Moritz Ulrich. Is the driver on provisional pole in the hypercars. There is Alex Siebel in second. Tobias Grunwald, last week's winner, currently running in third place. Sven Gielhood, of course the drivers are in what they see as lone qualifying, so we'll only ever see one car on track at a time. They won't see anyone at all. This is why it might occasionally look like they're right on top of one another. They may well be, but they're not occupying the same instance. Almost. There is Mitchie Hoyer. No, I'll tell you what, he's had a very good run in sector 1 there. He is about to make an improvement on his time. We will see by how much as our provisional pole sitter comes in halfway through the qualifying session. Ulrich pops himself into the pits. Fresh set of boots and straight back out again. Imagine we'll see a fair bit of that going on. Oh, the track temperature is falling as well. We're down 0.2 of a degree. We'll see if the cooler temperatures do help any. Alex Siebel goes quicker again, takes another 3/10 of his time as Hoyer goes quicker in sector 2. So we'll see what he can do. It fires out at the last corner, across the line. He does a 47. Oh no, he does not. He does a 46.8. He pulls over. He's going to go into the pits. Fresh set of boots. So the top 5 now, sub 47. And yeah, I was that busy looking at the car pulling over, I did not even notice that Tobias Grunwald, look at that, right on cue. Tobias Grunwald, 1 minute 45.9. Sven Gielhood on a 46.0. Less than a tenth of a second separate those two. And just as Grunwald took pole position, of course his teammate in the GT3s does as well. Enter Nicholas Hoban. Purpled all 3 sectors in his Lamborghini and is taken provisional pole by 6/10. That's not a bad marker to lay down for your first lap in qualifying. Team Nitro living up to the name once again. Absolutely wild stuff. Absolutely wild stuff. Do they have any teammates that are going to join them potentially on the podium again this week? We've got 16. Go the Cadillac. What an engine sound that is. 16 we've got in the hypercars. We've got 15. Oh no, sorry, my apologies. 18 in the GT3s. The BMW bringing up the rear for the GT3s. That has certainly been the case so far this season. There is Wendell in the Porsche. Up in third, of course, Bessier in the Lexus. As Grunwald has just gone quicker. Let's see what his teammate Hoban is doing. No, he's down on his lap time. So he's down on this lap. Grunwald back in the pits at 1 minute 45.8. He's now 2/10 ahead of Gielhood, who's just purple sector 1. It is on. He's just on a 31.859 in the first sector. Let's see if he can keep this going all the way through sector 2 as well. If he can, it's going to be an interesting closing 5 minutes. He's going to be hitting himself the line soon. Not many more changes going on in the GT3s now at the moment. NASCAR's really still in 5th place. I don't think he's on a flying lap. Sven Gielhood definitely is. Let's see what he does across the line. He's had a little bit of a wiggle there. The longest section of the course. Now, is that enough to throw him off course? He needs this. I mean, even if this is green, it doesn't have to be purple. Green here would certainly help. After that 31.8, Tobias Grunwald's back out on track. Arda Erkan as well, 46.2, so he's only 2/10 behind Gielhood, and Siebel only a 10th back. They've got 3/10 back to Moritz Ulrichs. So, second, third and fourth are still ridiculously close. Ulrichs and Marco Bischoff, another Team Nitro driver, he finds himself not far down. Now, I think Gielhood might have violated the track limits. Yeah, he has. Sector 2. That wiggle was enough, so Gielhood doesn't improve. That was an invalid lap. They're still on 46.0. Grunwald still out and running. Hoban is in the pits. Alexander Hanna up into second place. Marin Pierre, another Lexus driver, still in third. In third now. He was in second. 35.9 on his opening lap, but again, sector 2. Oh, yeah, massively down. Massively down on his time, so I don't think he's going to improve on this lap. There is Corbin Wendell. He is down on his lap as well. Nascadas Vili. No improvements there either. David Rancano, who was at one point right up at the top of the field, now finds himself down in 11th in the Lambo, but again he has made an improvement in sector 1. With 2 minutes left to go. Oh, Grunwald in the pits. He's got no more. He's not going to get any more laps completed. Manuel Fuchs is in the pits. So is Julian Gataga for GR Racing. He's currently in 8th. Rancano, yes, sector 2 once again is not to be trifled with. He's just on a 54.1 there. He's going to need an almighty sector 3 if he's going to improve on his time. Arda Erkan, he has just had all kinds of mighty sectors. Rancano did improve in sector 3, not enough to take the top spot. Arda Erkan has just taken the fastest lap with a 45.8. It's all going to be about the tyre and fuel management yet again. We saw a nice mix of tyres in the race last week, or a bit of a mix of tyres in the race last week. Certainly not as mixed up as it's been so far, but it didn't play out for the drivers on the medium. We'll see if there's any change there. Arda Erkan. Wow, so when he set that fastest lap of 45.8, he was actually down on his own personal best in sector 1. He's just beaten his own sector 1 time. So he could potentially be looking to extend that gap. Grunwald again going to start in second place. We'll see what Arda Erkan can do here in sector 2. That 32.0 to have been a personal best, we have seen quicker than that, so different car, the hypercar is definitely flourishing in different parts of the track, different sectors of the tracks. And these mixed up sector times are going to keep it very close up at the top. Hoban in the pits, no one making any changes in the GT3, so the early time set there, that's still holding. Oh, and Erkan is down on his own time in Sector 2. Is he going to improve any more? No, he's not. 45.918. Wow, so Erkan and Grunwald have both done 45.8s to occupy the front row of the grid, separated by half a tenth of a second, less than half a tenth of a second. Absolutely crazy. And there we can see, yeah, a whole lot of cars in the GT3s coming into the pits as well. Pickley is going to come in. Everyone in the GT3s has set a time. 201.1 at the back of the grid. We'll get a look and see where they are all going to settle in. Nice livery on the Porsche. Bit of a wiggle though on the way out for Panettone. And he's down on his sector times, so this will not be an improvement on his lap. Alex Siebel, he's down on his lap as well in sector 1. So I think we are looking at the final running order here, if I'm not mistaken. And yep, there we go. Siebel spins it off track. That is going to be him done. Arda Erkan is still out and running, but it won't be a valid lap, and he is down on sector 1 anyway, so that is going to be him done with qualifying, but he is going to take the top spot here in round number 7 of the Simverse LMU series. We'll close that as well. Yep, here from Bahrain, and yeah, he's pulling into the pits now. And he is indeed in. We will get the results up on screen in a moment or two once we turn down the horns beeping in the garage, but I can't confirm it is Arda Erkan that's going to occupy the front row, with Tobias Grunwald, Sven Yilhud and Alex Siebel are going to be on row 2. Ulrich and Bischoff are going to be on row number 3, with Hoyer and Bachmeier on row 4. Partey and Alvarez on row 5. For the hypercars in the GT3s, Nicholas Hoban and Besser at row 1, Hanna and Koinsel in row 2, Naskadashvili and Vindel 5th and 6th, Fuchs in 7th, Bartol, Gataga and David Rancano did improve on his time. He got into the 59s and it was good enough for 10th place, 59.9. Koifel with a 59.9 as well, 37 hundredths between the two of them. Ridiculously close again. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, so there we go. Oh. Confirmation up on screen. Haha. There we go, apologies. Lost control of my overlay there. But yeah, confirmation on the screen. We've got 16 cars in the hypercars, 18 cars in the GT3s, 34 cars in total taking part in tonight's race. Oh, and we have seen a bit of variation in the tyres. Mitchie Hoyer, Tim Flagg and Sebastian Coyne have taken hard tyres, and Moritz Ulrich, oh no, he's making some changes, sorry, yeah, so more tyre changes coming in. We're going to have at least 4 drivers with hard tyres on. Everyone in the GT3 cars are taking mediums, but it does look, yeah, more drivers taking the hards, or thinking about it. Alex Siebel has only got 1 hard tyre on the front left. Nice. Oh, and Arda Erkan's going for a split tyre strategy as well. Arda Erkan, top of, he will lead the race away. Tobias Grunwald in second, Sven Gielhund in third, but Alex Siebel in fourth. Maurice Ulrich in fifth position. Bischoff, Hoyer, 6th and 7th. Bachmeier, 8th. Party, 9th. Alvarez in 10th with George Barr in 11th. Tim Flaig in 12th. Bachmeier is going to start in... Bachmeier in the Alvarez. George Barr, my apologies, in 11th. Tim Flaig in 12th. Bachmeier in 13th. That's it. Lucas Bachmeier's 2, of course. David Tepper in 14th. Wittig in 15th. And Coyne in 16th position. Sorry, I was that busy looking at the tyres. We are about to see the race very much got underway. Hoban, Besser and Hanna, as we mentioned, Coinsel and Naskadashvili in the top 5 for the GT3s. And round number 7 is going to be underway. 16-minute race. We'll see if anyone goes for the no-stop strategy. And there we go. It's green lights, it's foot down, it's flat out, and it is a flying into turn number 1 for Tobias Grunwald. I think he's just about got the lead of the race. What a start he's got. The hypercars go 3 wide, and of course the GT3s go 3 or 4 wide in the background. And around the outside, Tobias Grunwald into turn number 1. Oh, he gets muscled out there a bit as Arda Erkan now finds himself battling to hold on to the lead. No, sorry, that's Sven Gielhund battling to hold on to the edge of the track there, almost losing himself a position. Big changes in the GT3s as well. The game can't even keep up with what's going on. Hoban has held on to the lead. We've got lots of changes going on. Let me grab that there so we can see exactly what's going on. Yeah, Maurice Ulrich has dropped himself 2 positions, and Clemens Koitzel has had a big incident. He's dropped himself all the way down to 9th position. So absolutely not the start he was looking for, dropping almost outside of the top 10. Louis Barto and Joseph Koifel also in the same boat. The GT3's absolutely going at it. Is that someone off track? That is one of the Falcon cars off track. Was that Ulrich? No, it wasn't. Sorry, there is Ulrich there. Oh, it's Mirak Party. In fact, no, it's not. My goodness me, it's Mitchie Hoyer. He's dropped that far down. That is Mitchie Hoyer. There's been some kind of contact there with Hoyer, I think. Oh no, he's gone off track. He appeared to lose angle, appeared to lose grip. No one else involved in the incident. Hoyer is down 6th position and absolutely surrounded by GT3s. This is worst case scenario for a hypercar driver, especially as he's got the battle for the lead in the GT3s just ahead of him, and it involves David Naskadashvili once again putting the pace on in the race. He finds himself up in his 2nd place and all over the back of Hoban, who's now got multiple hypercars to deal with at the end of the first lap. Not a situation anyone expects to happen. George Barr and Sebastian Coyne getting themselves involved there. David Tepper right in this battle as well. So we're going to see more hypercars coming through as we see more battles going on in the GT3s. It's Wendell who's having a look. Oh my goodness me, that's side by side through turn number 1. Not the easiest place to even think about doing it, but it is a great battle between the two of them. And Manuel Fuchs looks like he's got the job done. Corbini and Wendell trying his best to come back up. It's Porsche versus Lamborghini in a straight drag race. I think we all know how this would end on ACC. It's certainly not the case here on LMU, and that is again absolutely side by side. Fuchs in the Porsche just about managing to hang on. And it is Corbini and Wendell. Wendell in the Porsche. Just about hanging on. Fuchs is in the Lamborghini, and that is Fuchs taking the spot there. Arda Erkan and Tobias Grunwald now find themselves a 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. They're only separated by 0.3. Deja vu to last week. We will get a tyre rundown in a moment. In fact, quick tyre rundown in the GT3 class. They're all on mediums. And in the hypercar class, there are more hard tyres touching the track than there are mediums. So yeah, we'll run through who's on what when we get a bit of a breather from battles for the lead of the race. I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. No, Nascadasvili and Hoban half a second apart. But a quarter of that distance separates Arda Erkan and Tobias Grunwald. Grunwald still chasing. Erkan still putting in very, very, very fast laps indeed. Down the field, quick update, Mitchy Hoyer, he's taken back 2 spots already. So he's back up to 13th position. Sasha Wittig from the start of the race, avoiding everything that was going on around, and has managed to get a very good run in that BMW, although is coming under pressure from Partey, who dropped a couple of positions. Partey goes up the inside, beautiful manoeuvre there. Is the cutback available for Wittig? It's not quite. I tell you what, Wittig positioning the car perfectly there to stay in the slipstream and not lose, or lose as little time as possible to the overtaking Partey, but it is. Wow, so that was the overtaking Partey, as in a party involved in an action, P-A-R-T-Y, and it was Mirek Partey, P-R-A-T-I, that made said overtake. That is going to get confusing as the race goes on. Moritz Ulrich, 3 tenths behind Bischoff. He's only 3 tenths behind Alex Siebel. Siebel's shown some good pace in qualifying, but in the race, early stages of the race, it's Bischoff and Ulrich who are looking quick. Grunwald now 6 tenths behind. So yeah, good time to talk about the tyres, because this is where these two drivers differed last time out, and it certainly made a big difference at different stages of the race. At the moment, Arda Erkan, front 2 tyres are medium, back 2 tyres are hard. Tobias Grunwald is on a full set of medium tyres. Sven Gielhud is on a full set of hard tyres. Alex Siebel has 1 hard tyre on the front left, the other 3 are mediums. And then we've got Marco Bischoff, who's done the same as currently 2nd place. He finds him, he is on a full set of mediums. Moritz Ulrich has got 3 hard tyres. He's got a medium on the front right. Then Bachmeier, Alvarez, Bachmeier, Partey and Wittig, all on medium tyres. And then we've got Flagg, Mitchy Hoyer, David Tepper, Sebastian Kuhn and George Barr, who are all on full sets of hard tyres. So as I say, some major variation, but at the moment, actually let me just do some quick maths, which is always a really good thing to do on the fly in the comedy box. Actually, my apologies, I misspoke. There is 2 more medium tyres out there than there is hard tyres. So there we go. The majority of tyres out there are the hard tyre. The medium tyre, sorry, not the hard tyre as I declared earlier. I've misread that data and delivered some erroneous information. My apologies. But we'll see what they do when they come out of the pits. They are absolutely hammering into one another at the moment. Grunwald still only 2 tenths behind. Nicholas Hoban, he's absolutely getting the job done. He finds himself with a 1.5 second gap back to Nascadasvili. So these two were looking to break away. They still are looking to break away. Fuchs is still 1.6 seconds down on Nascadasvili. David Rancano has had a phenomenal start to the race. He finds himself up to 6th position, and he is within a striking distance. He almost took a strike from Coinsel there, who got himself a bit close under braking. I think he slightly misjudged that, as because he does have the Iron Dames Porsche being piloted by Joseph Koifel right behind him, and Aldericio is not far behind here. In fact, Aldericio and Louis Barto, Aldericio and Koifel up 3 positions each. Coinsel down 3, and Louis Barto down 2 as well. More overtakes down at the back of the field, actually. Alexander Hanna. Oh, mighty battle of the liveries back here. The BMW of Asiol is being firmly chased by Hanna with Gatica and Bessier. Bessier is going to be quick, of course. He is down 9 positions on where he started after that early incident. Panettone down 1. We can see Milson is also down. Oh, and that is very close indeed. The Lex is definitely quicker than the Ferrari in a straight line, and out the last corner. He will try and break away, but the slipstream is going to be strong. And for that Porsche behind, Gatica is in a good position here going into turn number 1. Let's get some gratuitous on-board action. Suddenly seems very stuttery. confusing times. We crack on. Only 0.6 of a second separating these 4 cars here. Not really a great onboard mirror. Fritz is close in behind. We'll see what we've got going on. So close there. Up at the front of the hypercars. It's absolutely side by side. Tobias Grunwald is going for it. They're in the middle of the lap. There's a bit of door banging on the straight. Both drivers trying to stand their ground. Grunwald very wisely trying to drag Erkan over to the inside. Of course, Erkan will have to use more brake. Grunwald does have to drift back over to take the corner himself. Erkan has got the inside line. He's got his nose back in front, but now does Grunwald, and that is a beautiful manoeuvre and strategy there by Tobias Grunwald. He's got a full set of medium tyres, and he has got himself a look at the lead of the race, but he also does have Arde Erkan less than 2/10 behind, and one Sven Gielhud, who's on a full set of hard tyres. Now, that is an interesting one if it comes to a pit stop. If he can stay out or just get in for fuel and out again without having to change tyres, Gielhud could be in a very good position here. Erkan and Grunwald, 4/10 now separating them. The GT3s, we do usually see a bit of a scrap in the first few laps, but they have spread out. Bahrain is a tricky circuit. It is very easy to lose time. Naskrasvili in second, Fuchs in third, with Wendell in 4th position. Pastrana's in 5th, and Rancano in 6th. Although, as I'm saying, the battles have died down. They've just moved down the field a bit. Rancano, Koinsel, Koifel, Alderissio and Louis Barto are all battling ways. We can see there Barto at the back of this group. He's got a good view as the Lamborghini has a look to the inside line there. Can't quite pull that off. Rancano definitely looking racy, but so too is Joseph Koifel. How he's not got that Porsche past Koinsel ahead of him is a testament to Koinsel's defensive astuteness, I would say, because that Porsche is looking very quick indeed. And Koinsel is having to pick his position very closely here as well, because he does have a car directly ahead of him. He's going to be forced into making an overtake attempt almost, with the pressure that Koifel is applying behind him. And yeah, as always, cars 3 and 4 in this type of terrain that benefit the most. The cars ahead, if one of them tries to make a move, then yeah, you just follow them through, force somebody out wide, take their track position, and boom, away you go. And that certainly looks like what somebody's going to have to do here. Fuchs from Wendell, Fuchs and Wendell are within a second. Pastrana is the driver leading this little pack here in the Lambo. The Lexus, sorry, being chased by Rancano in the Lambo, who we are on board with. There's Koinsel. There is Koifel. Still chasing, and still chasing is Arde Erkan. Grunwald is ahead now. It's a 6/10 of a gap there, so it's going in Grunwald's favour, but it's definitely going in Gielhud's favour, because that is now at 1.3 seconds. Marco Bischoff has made a move already this race. He's got past Ulrich, and he is within 4/10 of Siebel as Hoban confirms his dominance in the race by setting another fastest lap, as we are now starting to interact with the GT3s. Or sorry, interacting again, of course, after those lap 1 incidents. Mitchie Hoyer, one of the big droppers in position. He really lost out on the opening lap. He's still down 6, so he has made back 2, but is now just closing in on Flake. Both of them on hard tyres. Tim Flake in 12th position. In fact, let's see what his lap times are looking like. 51.2. He's done a 50.9. Hoyer's been down in the 49.2s. But yeah, Hoyer had a problem. Let me take my teeth out and put them in properly. Mitchie Hoyer had a problem on the previous lap. His lap time down in the 1:55s. Which is certainly not the type of pace we've seen from him. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Somebody. Moritz Ulrich is out of the race. Moritz Ulrich is DNF'd. he lost control of the car. I think he's had a big contact with the wall because, yeah, he's lost control of the car and he's found himself with that much damage. He is back to the pits. So yeah, that's some championship points that are going to beg in there for Ulrichs. His competitors, though, are certainly going to be gaining. Oh, Coinsel is gaining and gaining and gaining, and Pastrana is right in the mix. Apologies, we've missed some major movements in this little pack as we see Pastrana and yeah, he's second in this pack with Coinsel all over the back of him. Coinsel going to the extreme inside. He knows that the Lexus is then going to have to keep himself there. He swings back to the outside. The Lamborghini, has he got the pace to get it done? I don't think he's quite. Oh, he's got the inside line here. I want to tell you what, the Lexus not for leaving too much room there. Oh, and the Ferrari behind, who I think, is that Aldesario or is that a car out of position? No, it was Aldesario hauling himself. A big old move there, and that's brought Louis Barto up a spot. He's just got past Aldesario. Nope, they're going to go side by side themselves. It's the Ferrari and the Lambo's turn this time, although it might be the turn of Alexander Hanna. Hanna had a terrible start to the race, down 7 places. Oh, overtaken when you've got a hypercar coming through. Not the easiest. We're going to go 4 wide, of course. Why not? It's only a hairpin. Over the apex we go. When they do exit with Barto still ahead of Aldesario and Alexander Hanna. Still very much watching this one. We'll jump. Apologies for having to cycle through the cameras. LMU, can we please get some better controls for the broadcasters? Thank you very much. 2 tenths separates Aldesario from the back of Barto. 8th, 9th and 10th on screen. And you can see, oh, that ball's going on ahead. Oh, I think there's been a bit of contact there with the front and back of two of the GT3s. And for whatever reason, that didn't show up as an incident. Well, there we go. It was clearly an off-track moment there. And it was Clemens Coinsel who, there he is. Yeah, he has dropped out of this battle now. There you can see an absolute no man's land. David Rancano, Mendel, no, Rancano. And Coinsel, is someone else dropped further down that I don't see it. Joseph Koifel was the other one involved in that incident there. There we go, he's down 5 spots. Iron Dame Porsche is one of the cars. So I think there was a previous contact actually. He's dropped down the order. A few of the cars have shaken up where they are. And Rancano certainly been a shake-up from him. Holding 5th position very comfortably now with a 3-second gap back to Coinsel, who's still got Louis Barto in tow. So this mid-pack battle still well and truly underway. Alexander Hanna now throwing his hat in the ring for an overtake. Here comes the number 66. That's Bachmeier in 6th position. Oh, and that is a clumsy contact from the Lexus there. And the only saving grace, I would say, is the fact that Bachmeier got completely spun round there. So you got massively spun out. Here comes Hanna though, once again. Completely undeterred. There goes Patrick Bachmeier. He's lost a bit of time to party after. Yeah. 2.5 seconds. Sorry, don't know why it took me so long to work that out there. That's ridiculous. Yeah, 2.5 seconds he lost. That's a lot of time to lose. Although it's very easy to gain that amount of time in these cars, I suppose. Sasha Wittig just been overtaken by Eduardo Alvarez. Alvarez getting back up to 9th where he started. Wittig still got a 4th place gain after starting in 14th place. Mitchie Hoyer has taken a position as well after that DNF. So that's him back up to 11th position. So only 4 spots he's lost at the moment. Let's see what Alex Siebel is saying actually. He's closing in on Bischoff. The two of them have swapped positions previously in the race. sure Siebel will be keen to get that one back again. Bischoff, though, he'll have ambitions of getting back on the podium with his teammates like he did last week at Circuit of the Americas, or Circuit of the Track Limits, as it's unaffectionately known by drivers. Grunwald, he'll be a fan of it, though. He had a quality battle there last week with Erkan. Is there another good one here this week at the start of the race? 1.2 seconds is the gap now, though. And yeah, safe to say he is on the prime tyre. Erkan clearly expecting a lot of tyre wear on the rears. He's got hards on the back of the car, and Sven Gielhud full hard tyre. He's 1.8 seconds behind Erkan, but importantly for him, Bischoff is 10 seconds down, and Bischoff is actually on full mediums. So for Gielhud to be showing this pace on hards against the medium tyre of his competitor behind is certainly no mean feat. There's Sebastian Kuhn coming into the pits, and in fact there he is on his way out again. So he's taking himself a stop on Tim Flake. Hasn't been at the pits, but he's dropped position, so he's had a bit of an incident. It's, again, not popped up on the tracker. But he is now behind Mitzi Hoyer. Strange confusing times. Let's see, Grunwald now. Still got 1.2 seconds the gap there, so Erkan's steadying the ship. Maybe those tyres are starting to work, are going to be working better at this phase of the race with less wear on Erkan's rear tyres. Although, what are we? We're only... Oh no, wow, we're 22 minutes into this already. How time flies with the Top Split LFM. That is, of course, the Simverse.com LMU Pro Series. It's round number 7. We are out in Bahrain under the spotlights in Alderessio. I have no idea where Alderessio came from. Alderessio is looking to get his way past Barto. He's already got 2 overtakes himself in this race. Barto, after all the to and fro, back to where he started in 7th position. Koinzel ahead of him with a 3 position drop. Then everyone ahead of him has all gained a position, apart from, of course, Nicholas Hoban, who is just gaining the eternal admiration and respect of every Lamborghini driver out there. A 59.8, the only driver in the GT3s to go below 2 minutes. That is the type of pace that he's got, and he is 2.6 seconds to the good. And unless he has some kind of absolute catastrophe... Actually, it's motor racing. Of course it could still be a catastrophe. Let's not curse the commentator too soon. There's a couple of Aston Martins catching up to some more GT3s, and you can see just how much of a pace difference again there is between the 2 classes. Leave them absolutely standing as they go past. Oh, now that is a nice camera shot. That is Alderessio pulling into turn. Alderessio pulling into turn number 1. He is not going to be close enough there. Grunwald got nobody close to him at the moment. That gap now up to 1.8 seconds. Gielhud is 2.3 down on Erkan. Bischoff 12 seconds down now on Gielhud. So yeah, he lost over almost a second on that previous lap. So yeah, he's definitely going slower. Let's see, Tim Flake gets the overtake done on Tepper. That was the 2 Aston Martins we saw. There's David Rancano's Lamborghini that was driving past as he got that overtake done. Flake, oh, and then he runs deep. Flake runs deep. That leaves the door open, and Tepper just walks right through. as we listen to that beautiful engine note flying past the cameras. It is Aston v Aston for 12th place in the hypercars. They are swapping spots fairly regularly, it would seem. I wonder if either one of them will come into the pits. They are both on hard tyres, so they can go very far into the race if they want. No mandatory stop for tonight's race, of course. But yeah, the laws of physics will certainly dictate that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Someone on YouTube. Alan Brown, good evening. Raven, it's nice to hear your Scottish tones. Thank you very much. Apologies. I've only just noticed that there has been so much going on in the race. It has been absolutely wild. We'll get back to it in a moment. And yeah, a few people chatting away in the Twitch chat as well, but mostly in German. Given my basic grasp of the English language, I'm not sure I want to give an attempt to translate any of that German. Translate any German, that is for sure. Let's see where we're going. But yeah, Alan, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. When are we going to see you in the top split, mate? Get the finger out, get some practice in. Let's get you up here on the top spot with the drivers. I'm running that. Tobias Grunwald sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 46.637. Absolutely wild. He's now half a second quicker than Erkan's fastest lap, and Erkan's previous lap there was a 47.1. So yeah, a solid half second between the lap times. That is just building and building. So too though with Grunwald's teammate Nicholas Hoban. 2 minute 0.6 on the previous lap there, 7:10 slower than his best, but still almost a second quicker than any. Oh no! Let's take that back again. Marin Besser takes the fastest lap in the GT3s. Oh, now I think he has just been at the pits. He is still on medium tyres, but yeah, he's just done a 1 minute 59.801. Wow, so at 801. Yeah, 801 for Besser, 844 for Hoban. And Besser is down 12 spots. He has taken his pit stops. He is going to be running to the end of the race, so we'll see how many spots he gains back with that kind of pace. I'd imagine it'll be a few. The track temperature is now below 20 degrees. Sitting at 19. And that definitely seems to be playing at the hand of Grunwald and Besser as well. Grunwald now 2 seconds ahead. He is not slowing down in the slightest. 15 laps in, 2 second gap. He's still got a potentially, well yeah, I think he will be having a quick run into the pits. Or is he going to try and go for the full hour? I was going to check on the website. Let's have a look. Hoban, Naskadas Vili 7 seconds down now. He is with Fuchs in third, Wendell in fourth, David Rancano running in fifth position, just ahead of Clemens Kreutzl in sixth, Louis Barto in seventh, and it's Valentino Alderissio in eighth place, Alexander Hanna running in ninth in the GT3s, and Adrian Pastrana rounding out the top 10. Gitaga, Asiol, Fritz, Nielsen and Koifel round out the top 15. Of course, Koifel dropping quite a few positions after a mid-opening half of the race. Or yeah, halfway through the opening half of it. My goodness me, that doesn't make sense. About 15 minutes into the race, he binned it. He was involved in an incident. He's now 4 spots down. Could be taking some back. Becerre. Yeah, still down 12 spots, but still driving very quickly indeed, and he is closing in on Piccoli. So we'll see how quickly he does close that gap. Oh, it might be a bit quicker if he's getting pushed along by one of the hypercars. He got a good exit there in the Lexus. No match for the hyper though. Tobias Grunwald. Oh, now tell you what, Arda Erkan is coming right back into it. He's just done a 46.9. So that's his fastest lap of the race. It's 3:10 slower than Grunwald's fastest lap, but on that previous lap there, he was a second quicker than Grunwald. As we can see there, that's it's a 1.6 second gap we've got between these two now. That is, it's getting closer. Is this where he's going to go for it? Let me just check. So yeah, quickly going to check some of the data. Yeah, so ×2 on the tyre wear. And normal fuel for the 60 minutes. So it's effectively going to be like doing an hour and 20 minutes on your tyres. That is going to be quite the mission. Erkan, look, and as I'm looking at that, Grunwald has now got that gap back to just below 2 seconds. Although, yeah, popping back up again along the start-finish straight. Erkan still in second. Gielhood still in third place. There's Alexander Hanna. Looks like he's looking to come into the pits pretty soon. We have reached and breached the halfway mark, to be fair. Let's see. So far, it's only been Koifel, Piccoli, Becerre and Panettone that have been into the pits. Becerre gets himself past Piccoli, so that's a position taken there. He's certainly got the pace over him at the moment. And in the hypercars, Sebastian Coyne has been in. George Barr has been in as well. So these two are running to the end. Ulrich's still in the pits, as he is now out of the race. Has been for quite a few laps now. First retirement of the evening. It was a strange one as well. I think it must have been an almighty contact with the wall. Grunwald's just coming past one of the Fisher racing cars. Where did I go? Apologies, I got distracted by the length of time that one of the drivers has been in the pits. It was very confusing. Koifel and Becerre, a massive difference in the amount of time that those two have been in the pits. So yeah, I think Koifel is just literally splashed and dashed. He was only stationary for 7.5 seconds, but Becerre was in for quite some time. Well, yeah, we'll see what he can do when he gets back up on track. That is a thought process for later on in the race. We've only got 27 minutes left though. 33 minutes done and dusted around number 7. Grunwald really is putting the foot down now. I did wonder if Erkan's tyres would be superior at some point. Having those hard tyres on the rear, of course, they're going to go through less wear. They'll have less grip, but are a set of fresher hard tyres better than a set of worn mediums? At the moment, you would have to say the worn mediums are certainly doing their thing. 1 minute 47.3 for Grunwald on that previous lap, 48.1 for Erkan, and the two Team Nitro teammates go past one another. There is Hoban leading the way in the GT3s, being overtaken by his teammate Tobias Grunwald in the hypercars. Of course, the two of them have won their fair share of endurance races together on ACC. Yeah, Team Nitro are a team that live up to their name. They are nitro fast. It just, yeah, such a slick unit of a team. Absolutely mind-blowing. And yeah, very much it again. Marco Bischoff still looking to join his teammates on the podium. He does have 14 seconds to make up to Gielhood. And Bischoff is on the medium tyre, so it just goes to show you the pace that Gielhood's got. He's doing that on a set of hard tyres, which is absolutely no mean feat. He's only 4 seconds behind Erkan. Still 13, 14 seconds ahead. Well, Bischoff he has a bit of a wiggle on the way into the first corner there. Does manage to keep it in check. No one else coming into the pits. There he goes, past the GT3 leader. That is still Nicholas Holborn, very comfortably indeed. Naskidas Vili, good start to the race to get up to second place. And Manuel Fuchs as well to get himself up 2 spots on to the podium. Not too bad at all. Corbinian Wendell finds himself in 4th. There is Sasha Fritz signalling for a pit stop. Alexander Hanna did come in and take a pit stop. He is ahead of Becerre but behind Kreufel. And yeah, he was in 15 seconds. It says that Becerre was stationary for 53 seconds. That is a very, very, very lengthy pit stop. Sasha Fritz, just pulling away from the pit box. Did get a big warning sign there, so hopefully no speeding in the pit lane. Yeah, no, all seems to be good. Yeah, all seems to be good at the moment. Right, let's see if anyone from the top of the field is coming in. No, Tobias Grunwald. Not interested in a pit stop with 24 minutes left to go. He is going to stay out with Arda Erkan and Sven Gielhood still chasing him. Bischoff in 4th, still with Siebel in 5th. Then it's Patrick Bachmeier, who's up a spot into 6th place. He's got Mirak Party, another driver, up a spot. He is in 7th. Lucas Bachmeier up 3 to join Patrick in the top 10 from 11th. Eduardo Alvarez, he's only 18th behind Lucas Bachmeier actually, so this could be an interesting one just before they take their pit stop. Mitchie Hoyer is back up to 10th place. So at the moment it is a loss of 3 positions. So all things considered, not too bad. And he's still got 23 minutes left to go. Does have 14 seconds to make up to Alvarez ahead. But Hoyer is on the hard tyres. Alvarez and Bachmeier ahead of him are both on the mediums. So again, it's all about the wear on them and how long it'll last. Alex Siebel doing well in 5th. He was the driver that took 1 hard tyre on the front left. Ulrichs only took 1 medium tyre, and that was on the front right. So the drivers and cars completely different apparently, and that is yeah, can certainly be the case around some of these courses. Well, I'll tell you what, David Rancano is running very quickly indeed at the moment. 201.1 on his previous lap, 201.5 for Wendell, so Rancano is definitely closing that gap. Is he looking at 4th place? That would be a season best for him if he can. We've got 22 minutes left to go. 3/10. Ooh, Gattigat and Pastrana. Of course, Pastrana teammates with Rancano. That blue Lexus we saw involved in a bit of contact with Kreufel. Kreutzel. Kreufel's in the Porsche. Kreutzel is in the purple Lamborghini. That is Julian Gattiaga in the beautiful tangerine and black Ferrari. As a Dundee United fan and a Ferrari fan, fully approve of that livery. Adrian Pastrano's certainly getting a good look at it in his rear view mirror. Given how close these two are, will we see either of them come into the pits? I think I've mentioned a few times this, the GT3 field all on medium tyres, no variation there. We thought about not close enough though. Track temperature is still falling as well. We're now down to 18.7. So that's almost a degree they've lost since the start. It keeps up like that, we'll be down, about another half a degree or so. He's looking for it into turn number 1. Has the Ferrari got the legs? Nope, in the slipstream it does not. Well, of course, you might just be pulling out the slipstream to actually let some air go across the front of the car and cool the brakes. Or help keep the brakes a bit cooler on the way into the corner, actually give them more grip. That is very close indeed. So too is Rancano. And they've got more hypercars coming through, which can make it all that more interesting. Oh, there's been contact. There's been contact. That's Clemens Coinsel. Fisher Racing finds himself making contact with Alvarez in the hypercar. So a bit of a clumsy overtake there, or clumsy contact between the two of them mid-corner. And Coinsel will not be thankful for that one, because that's cost him a position to Louis Barto and Aldericcio. In the Ferrari now finds himself in a very good position to potentially get a couple of spots here, as we see another hypercar making its way through. That is Sasha Wittig in 11th place. So they've still got Flake, Topper, Coin and Barr still to come in the hypercars, but at the moment it's all about what's going on here. Let's jump on board. Again, apologies for having to cycle the cameras. In fact, you know what? There we go. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it is broke, LMU, so please do fix it. Aldesario right on the back of this battle, and again, Coinsel was not expecting to be in this position a lap or two ago. An innocuous contact, and he pulls into the pits. Definitely not a bad idea. Definitely not a bad idea. Coinsel comes straight in, and he denies Aldericcio any slipstream at all along the start-finish straight, as another hypercar tucks in behind. Will take the inside line here. Who do we have coming through? It's Mitzi Hoyer making his way through. It's still running in 10th place, although it was Wittig that just went through. Wow, Wittig is massively out of position. Clemens Coinsel is into the pits. That is Aldesario. That is Clemens Coinsel. Oh, pulling out of the pits, and he's been overtaken by Gattiga. Gattiga getting it done through the pit stops. You had a much quicker pit stop. Yep, 11 seconds quicker, or 11 seconds less time stationary for Gattiga, and that has put him ahead of Coinsel. So it was, a big variation in strategies as and when the drivers come in, and also a big variation on what they're actually doing when they come into the pit stops. It's having a huge effect on the time that they're spending in there, and it's having a huge effect on the running order. Gattiga in 13th place now, with Coinsel directly behind them. This is going to be an almighty tussle between these two for this position. Aldericcio in 7th. Who was it I was looking for though? Rancano, yes, he's now 1.6 behind Aldericcio on Barto. So Aldericcio has closed, despite the driver in the middle of this pack taking to the pits, Clement Coinsel. Aldericcio showing some very good pace against Barto, only 4 tenths separating them. Aldericcio up 5 places, along with Pastrano and Athiol. So during the pit stop phases, those three have made 5 spots up each, all currently running inside the top 10. Alexander Hanna is still the lead pitted driver in the GT. Oh, my apologies. No, he is not. Of course, Joseph Koifel, who has flown under my radar for some reason there. He has taken his pit stop. It was... pit lap is gone. But yeah, Koifel. So he is the lead car that's taking his pit stop. Hanna provisionally in second in that group, although he does have Nielsen ahead of him, and of course the drivers ahead when they come in. Quite a few are going to come back out ahead. One of them, of course, you would imagine is going to be Nicholas Hoban. He's got a 13-second gap now over Naskadasvili. It has been an absolute masterclass once again. And speaking of masterclasses, Tobias Grunwald is about to come in at the pits. 16 minutes left to go. We will see what Erkan does. Erkan, I think he's planning on staying out. I don't think he's planning on changing tyres, that's for sure. With the hard tyres on the back of the car and the mediums on the front, I think he's absolutely going for it. All four mediums though for Grunwald. In fact, yeah, we'll see if he does change tyres. He might not need to. 15 minutes left to go. And yeah, 18.6 degree track temperature, so it's not going to be, there's obviously not going to be any blistering. Certainly not going to be too much, you would think, in the way of graining. So yeah, this could be just a quick flash in and out of the pits. Oh, Tim Flake looking for an overtake on Sasha Wittig. He's Aston Martin still being closely followed by David Tepper. The two of these have swapped positions multiple times so far as they blast past the Fisher Racing GT3 car and look to catch up to Wittig, who is only 6 tenths ahead. There is Team Nitro's leading hypercar in the hypercar series, and he is into the pits. Long-winded way of that one. Marco Bischoff, his teammate, goes past, and that is Grunwald. Straight through. He was only stationary for 4.2 seconds, so he has not changed these tyres. He's taken on a bit of fuel, and he's got himself in and out of there very, very quickly indeed. That's not the one I need. There we go. So, does Erkan answer in kind? Does he come straight into the pits? We shall see. His previous lap there was a 1:47.1, which is within half a second of his own personal fastest lap, which is not bad going at all at this stage, especially having hard tyres on the rear of the car and the mediums on the soft. The grip will definitely be interesting for him. But he is managing it. There's Adrian Pastrano for the GT3s, signalling that he wants to come into the pits. I think we've also had... Oh, Milsan has dropped down a couple of positions. And in fact, that was Rancano, Pastrana's teammate, on screen. So we'll see Pastrana coming in this lap. He should come back out. Oh, now he needs a quick pit stop. He's going to be behind Gattaca. Alderisio, Barto and Rancano all about to come in as well, but it's Pastrano that drives into an empty pit lane on his own. Oh, Lamborghini just jumps back into the server there. Arde Erkan. Now 5.5 seconds up the road. Tobias Grunwald coming at the last corner, I believe. Yes, indeed he is. Oh, I thought Siebel was coming at the pits there. That is Alex Siebel. Tobias Grunwald's back in the pits. I'm very confused. But yeah, Grunwald has come back into the pits. That's his second pit stop. It was 8 seconds. I wonder if he's got his tyre changed wrong or didn't put in enough fuel. But that is Tobias Grunwald gone from looking absolute hot favourite to win the race. He is now going to be lucky to get on the podium. Yeah, so I'm just trying to do some very quick maths here. 7 seconds behind there, 35. Yeah, his teammate Marco Bischoff. If Bischoff can have a clean run through a clean pit stop and only one pit stop, He is looking good to pinch that final podium spot. Absolutely wild scenes. Grunwald, 2 pit stops. Nicholas Hoban has requested his pit stop, so too has Naskadashvili. Hoban, just superlatives are running dry for this driver. He's 15 seconds ahead, so he's all but got a free pit stop. Naskadashvili in second, Manuel Fuchs in third place, all looking to come into the pits. Rancano, Barto and Alderissio all on their way into the pits. Yep, there is Barto. That's Joseph Koifel who's gained back a couple of positions. So yeah, drivers in the pits, where are they? Milsam has stayed out. Yeah, Rancano and Alderissio for some reason not showing. There's Alderissio as he pulls out. Is he quick enough to get ahead of the Lambo? Not quite. So Louis Barto does hold on to the position. Him and Aldesario had on near identical pit times. Han has caught up to them. Koifel, still the lead driver to have taken his pit stop. That will change when Hoban comes into the pits though. But yeah, Koifel at the moment in 6th position. The furthest driver up the field to have taken a stop, Darius Milson, is taking his stop now. Fritz has got 2 stops as well. There is Becerre going through. Piccoli, I don't think he's going to be close enough. Not so Milsan will come back out in 15th place, as that is Eduardo Alvarez coming into the pits, and Tobias Grunwald indicating to his pit crew that he needs to come back in again. Whether that's gamesmanship or not, we will find out. But he is signalling that he wants to come in for another stop. Erkan and Gielhud both signalling the same as they lap the Aston Martins. Absolute pace they've got at the moment, and it's going to be Sasha Wittig who is next. Let's see, Gielhud is not too far behind, and Erkan up at the top of the field is about to go past Sasha Wittig, and we are looking yeah, right in there. Very nicely done by all concerned. Didn't cost too much time for the BMW driver to the cars behind. That's exactly what he needed. It does still put Erkan in an interesting situation. He's got, oh no, there we go, he's already passed the Lamborghini. Very nicely, nice work done by both of them. And there is confirmation. Tobias Grunwald is back in the pits, and he did stop, and this time for 7.2 seconds. Would anyone in the chat happen to know what's going on with Tobias? As I say, that's a lot of pit stops to take. A lot of pit stops to take. And yeah, we can hear the horns going. There is Erkan coming into the pits. He's followed in by Gielhud. Marco Bischoff is 3 places down, but he's about to take the lead because he is staying out. So Bischoff stays out. Erkan certainly won't be worried about Grunwald at the moment. That's his 3rd stop he's just taken. And we're already less than 10 minutes to go. There's only 7 minutes left of round number 7 of the Simverse LMU Pro Series by LFM. Over €2,000 worth of vouchers up for grabs. Air Split, that's for the Hypers and the GT3s. There'll be a very worthy winner that we see at the end of the very worthy winners, sorry, all 6 of them come the end of the season. There is Corbinian Wendell on his way out of the pits. Naskadashvili already out of the pits. He had a near identical pit stop time to Nicholas Hoban, which isn't really helpful. He needed to be a bit quicker through there. I'm not sure how he could have been though. 9.7 seconds stationary, although Hoban stationary for 9.2. So very quick indeed. Some changes there. Wendell back out ahead of Koifel. Koifel ahead of Rancano, who's now in 6th place. Alexander Hanna with a quick turn around the pits. He's 7th. Louis Bartos 8th. It's Alderissio in 9th. Gattiga in 10th. Coinsel in 11th position. Asiol in 12th. Pastrana in 13th place. We'll get the camera to catch up. There we go. Besser still got the fastest lap of the race. Still running in 14th. Milsan in 15th. Piccoli and Fritz in 16th and 17th. Pastrana, stationary at the side of the track in the Porsche, and he is rolling back on. I'm almost scared to watch, but it's that thing. Oh no, there he goes. He's moving backwards now. That is the GT3 race leader going past, but that is Panatone, who is completely stationary. Marco Bischoff has requested a pit stop. 5 minutes left to go. Running this race as long as possible. So too Alex Siebel, yet to take a pit stop. Bachmeier, Partey and Hoyer all to take a pit stop still as well. Tobias Grunwald, he's taken enough for multiple teams. He is down into 9th place. Wittig and Tim Flake with David Tepper also still to take pit stops. Now, if they decide to do though, they're on full hard tyres. If they can squeeze out the fuel for an hour, they may well stay out. If they do, they'll get Flake and Wittig. I'm not sure they'll get as far as Partey, but there's Partey now into the pits to take a stop. There he is there, remember at the end of the name. In his Toyota, Grunwald is going to make up a position. This is the longest that Grunwald has been out on track since he first came into the pits. Okay, sorry. Since Grunwald first came into the pits, this is now the longest he's been out that he hasn't come back in. If that makes any sense at all. 3 stops he's had. 2 very quick ones. Fisher Racing just moving over there ever so slightly. Arda Erkan, that's how much pace he's got. Looks like he's done the same on the tyres as well. As Bischoff is into the pits. So Bischoff is in. Where is Gielhud? Gielhud crosses the line. Bachmeier out with the last corner. Wow. No, that's not the last corner. Mitchie Hoyer down in 6th place. Let's see. Alex Siebel, as I say, he's requested his pit stop, so I'll put Erkan back in the race. And as you see, Erkan right on the back of him. So yeah, I mean, Siebel does have every right to defend the position, but it is a tough one if you make a mistake and you're on a different pit strategy. Was the Porsche runs wide? That is another run off track there for Sasha Fritz. He needs to keep that Porsche dialed in. As these two are absolutely dialed in. Let's see if Erkan can get the move done. Certainly no signalling at... Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Alex Siebel has signalled to say he's going to be bringing his Peugeot in at the end of this lap, so Erkan won't have to deal with him for too much longer. He will still be hoping to get ahead quickly and smoothly. Gielhud 5 seconds behind Bischoff, up into 4th, and he could well... yeah, he is going to take 3rd place. So that'll be back-to-back podiums for Bischoff. Not bad going. Although the fact that it was at the expense, effectively, of his teammate, if his teammate hadn't had to take those extra 2 pit stops, he would still be, well, potentially out in the front of the field. Of course, Erkan did have a quick pit stop, and he is having an even quicker few out lap. Yep, there is the job. Or is it? Siebel has stayed out. As we can see, he did not come in to the pits. He has still just about got the drop on Erkan, but there we go. Oh no! The diffuser comes right back round the outside again on the inside line though. Erkan surely got it done this time. He does indeed. And yeah, I think we'll see Siebel come in at the end of this lap. That'll put, as I say, Gielgud and Bischoff back onto the podium. Nicholas Hoban has been absolutely flawless all race long. 29 laps have now been completed by Hoban, and he is 17.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. It doesn't have the fastest lap of the race though. That honour is still with Marin Becerre. 43 hundredths separating the two of them. Yeah, 43 hundredths as far as lap time goes. Certainly a lot more than that. I'm just checking. That is Alexander Hanna looking to make a move here. Right in the middle of the traffic. Oh, he's going to go round the outside, up the inside of the Aston Martin. They're going to sandwich the Aston Martin hypercar, who's going to get a very good exit here and make it very interesting. And they all end up off track. And the Lamborghini manages to find some grip. He came across like an absolute missile there. A lot of light flashing going on. I'm not entirely sure who's to blame. I do know who is to blame if we missed the checkered flag. Me. That is the time expired. And Arde Erkan has gone for a full no-stopper. Arde Erkan has managed to pull off. Oh no, sorry, he did take a stop. It's Alex Siebel who's got a 0 next to his name. My apologies, I got very excited there, but Siebel has gone for a no-stop race. Bachmeier and Hoyer as well. Hoyer back up to third place, 6th position where he started. So yeah, a lot ventured. Not much gained though. He was 8 positions down, but he's gone for a no-stop as well. So the strategy's all over the place. I don't know if Grunwald maybe knew that. That's why he took the extra pit stops, do some tyre data. But either way, it's going to be another race win for Erkan. And what is proving to be a very good season for him. Nicholas Hoban as well. He is going to get himself the checkered flag, and he is going to see another race win and his grip firmly strengthened up at the top of the field. And there's going to be points sharing every place. The drivers very low on fuel, some of them. Gielgud is down to his last 1%. How he's going to make it to the line is beyond me. Bischoff 2%, Hoyer 2%, Bachmeier 3%. They've really cut it close. The no-stoppers, even the drivers that took stops. There's the checkered flag there. There we go, out with the last corner. Arde Erkan then. He wins himself round number 7, brings home another top spot, and it's Alex Siebel on the no-stop strategy, who has taken the checkered flag for 2nd in the hypercar. Sven Gielgud already in the pits. He will round out the podium. In the hypercars. There are teammates Hoban and Grunwald. Grunwald going past. Long-time race leader Grunwald. He has taken the fastest lap in the hypercars, but he's looking at 7th place here. His teammate though, another win in the series. He got a very good win last week, and he's backed it up this week. An absolutely solid display. Nascrazvili as well. He's finished 3 places to the good, which again in this field, absolutely no mean feat. But around the last corner, Team Nitro Concepts, Nicholas Hoban, gets himself another checkered flag for the series. Becerre will take the fastest lap, but Hoban will take the overall most consistent laps, and he's going to take the win, which is the important thing. Nascrazvili comes round the last corner. He is running on fumes. It is safe to say he is going to roll across the line, take the checkered flag, and immediately have to jump back to the pits because there's not going to be enough fuel in the car to make it back round to the pit entrance, and he does pull over Nastasvili. Solid race from him, and so too Manuel Fuchs, who will be very happy indeed. Lights flashing furiously in recognition of his achievement today to get onto the podium. Corbin Mundell in 4th. Alexander Hanna recovering back to 5th place. Rancano up to 6th. Koifel up to 7th position. Confirmation as well, after running a no-stop strategy, Mitchy Hoyer has made his way back up, as I say, he's made it up to 5th position. He's got past Patrick Bachmeier, and after being 8 places down on where he started at the end of lap 1, he finds himself 1 position to the good. So that is a great recovery drive and a little celebratory 720 degree spin there, and continues on. That is the way it is done. It looks like everyone is in the pits. Yep, we're clutching at straws for drivers out on track. So let's jump back to the studio and we'll get up the results. So there we go then, round number 7 of the Simverse.com LMU Pro Series. Bahrain now joins Fuji Spa, Paul Ricard, Portimao, Imola and Circuit of the Americas in the rear view mirror. Monza up next. As I say, we'll get the results in a moment. We'll turn the game volume down for the horns tooting, and we shall see if our class winners have jumped in. We'll keep an eye for them while we do the results. And in fact, what I'm going to do to make sure this all works is this. So here we go. Let's see GT3 results. And yep, Bahrain is up. Holben in 1st, Nastasvili in 2nd, Fuchs 3rd with Windell in 4th. Alexander Hanna up to 5th place ahead of David Rancano, Joseph Koifel, Louis Barto and Valentino Aldericio all the way through to 9th. Gattaga finishing in 10th place ahead of Coinsel and Asiol. We'll get another quick look at the top 15. Asiol finishing... there we go in 12th place. Pastrana in 13th. Becerra with the fastest lap finishing in 14th place. And Darius Milson rounding out the top 5 in the GT3s. We've got Q. Did finish the race. Fritz and Panettone both finished as well. Panettone though 3 laps down on the race leaders. In the hypercars, there we go. Erkan finishing in 1st place ahead of Siebel and Gielhud. Marco Bischoff so close to a podium in 4th. Mitchy Hoyer, what a recovery drive for Mitchy there. 5th place. Bachmeier in 6th ahead of Tobias Grunwald in 7th place. Lucas Bachmeier in 8th and Partey in 9th position. Sorry, we'll do a quick refresh so we can get back to the top 15. It does go a little bit quickly sometimes. Partey in 9th. Tim Flagg up 2 to 10th. Tepper up 3 to 11th. Alvarez and Wittig 12th and 13th. Coyne in 14th position. And George Barr dropping 4 places unfortunately, but rounds out the top 15. Moritz Ulrich didn't finish the race. He was an early retirement, as we saw. The drivers, of course, as I mentioned, vying for these prizes. €500 voucher for Simverse from Moza for 3rd place. 2nd place will receive a €750 voucher from Next Level Racing for the Simverse website. And the winners of each of the splits will receive €1,250 to spend on the Simverse website, courtesy of Thrustmaster. So huge thank you to them. We do have... one Nicholas Holben joining us in the commentary box after another dazzling display of dominance. Oh, and there we go. He wasn't able to hear me there, but yeah, as I was saying, after another dazzling display of dominance, when Nicholas Holben joins us after an unbelievably successful race tonight at Bahrain. It's a tricky track, Nicholas, and there was some strong competition on lap 1, but you got the foot down, you got the head down, and you've brought home an very, very, very impressive trifecta there of pole position, fastest lap, and race win by about 15 seconds. How was that for you tonight?
Yeah, thank you. It was actually a bit more, I think, but yeah, it was interesting. I was a bit scared of both Lexuses behind me. I was expecting them to be pretty quick in the race, but they kind of sorted themselves out in turn 1, so it was smooth sailing. That was interesting what happened around me with the hypercars in the first 2 laps, and then, yeah, just smooth sailing.
Yeah, the hypercars certainly making it interesting. And your teammate, Tobias, 3 pit stops to drop down to 7th in the hypercars. So yeah, not the result I was expecting there for him. We did see quite a few cars. A couple of cars went early on the pit stop, but the vast majority of the field do seem to leave it till later and later. The time's too tired were, I think, a contributing factor to that. What was your pit strategy coming into tonight, and did that change any with the way the race panned out?
Nah, just from beginning on it was the plan, just to stay out as long as possible and just splash as little as possible. I was confident in the pace, and yeah, as it seems, it was not wrong.
Yeah, the pace was incredible, the consistency as well. And give us a word, how do you find the multi-class racing around here at Bahrain? My only experience is MotoGP and Formula 1, to be fair. So how did you find the multi-class racing around a course like Bahrain? I mean, there's some tight, twisty corners there.
Yeah, I think it's one of the easier tracks, since it's,
okay.
Most of them are tight and twisty. The hypercars are not pretty fast in those corners, so they normally don't do stupid sense into that, and they can just go around us on the straights mostly, and we have a lot of them here, so it's kind of easy.
Okay, well, there you go. Proof eternal why I commentate and don't drive. We've got Monza coming up next. Oh, the Parabolica. Turn 1. What are we thinking ahead of Monza? Is this going to be a survival race, or are we thinking we pinning straight on for another win to continue this championship charge that you're currently on?
I guess the goal is always to win, but yeah, the first couple laps will be survival as always. Yeah, stick to the plan, I would say.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Monza is a fun one. We're certainly looking forward to that. Well, Nicholas, I've commentated on you in the team racing for quite some time, and you never cease to amaze me with the pace and consistency that you've got in there. It is just absolutely wild. Another, as I say, dominant performance tonight, and another race win under your belt. So congratulations on that, and yeah, best of luck going into Monza Turn 1 next week.
Thank you. See you next week, probably.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. There we go, folks. Nicholas Hoban from Team Nitro. They took three podium spots last time out. Only one this evening, and it was Nicholas that managed to grab it. We can get a look at the standings. And here we can see in the hypercars, it is Arda Erkan who is still leading the way. Gielhud in second, Siebel in third. Kobe Chan down to fourth place after not being here this evening. Bischoff up to sixth ahead of Patrick Bachmeier. Tim Flake in eighth. Patush and Tepper rounding out the top 10. Mitchie Hoyer on that recovery drive sees himself propelled up to 24th position. He's only raced in 3 races. Grunwald as well, up to 26th. So those two carving their way through the field at the moment, despite the races not going their way tonight. And in the GT3s, let me just make sure. There we go. Nicholas all-conquering Hoban, 5,000 points. He's got a 204-point lead over Nascadasvili already. Keufel in third, Koinzel in fourth, and Manuel Fuchs currently rounding out the top 5. He's only 70 points, so back to Wendell. Barto now ahead of Eric Delfant. So yeah, keeping it interesting up at the top of the championship for all concerned, but still got, as we can see, several rounds to go. Monza, Silverstone, Sebring, Interlagos, and then the 90 minute. It's actually a 145-minute race at Le Mans. 2 hours and 25 minutes. 100 minutes at Sebring, 80 minutes at Monza next week. So do make sure you get tuned in for that. I will be here for as many of those races as humanly possible. You better believe it. Good evening to the German channel. Good evening, Chris. How are we doing? Welcome in to the Raiders. Thank you very much for jumping on over on the Twitch channel. We just had Nicholas Holborn in the comedy box there. Sounding very confident to be back again next week. And yeah, who's to bet against him? Let's be fair. Who is to bet against him? Very quick indeed. Thank you to everyone that has been in the Twitch chat. Of course, with David Rancano come in. A great result. See, there you go, drivers. Come in, say hello in the chat. You'll make up 6 places and finish in the top 10. David Rancano has proved it. Proof eternal. We need no other facts. And of course, Alan Brown in the YouTube channel as well. Huge thank you to everyone for the likes, the subscribes, and the follows. Hugely appreciated. Make sure you get those bells ready to ring the next time we go live. And of course, the best thing to do, go over to the Low Fuel Motorsport website. 280,000 drivers across 6 sims. All the racing you can handle. And then some. They've even got my beloved race room on there. So yeah, grab yourself an F4 and come have some fun out on track. But that's all we've got time for this evening. Again, thank you to everyone who's been in the chat. Huge thank you to Simverse and the sponsors involved for the prizes. And huge thank you, of course, to LFM, Big Bad Boris. Doesn't just produce bangers in the videos. Some phenomenal leaks here and an absolute pleasure to preside over them. But until next time, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.